So this is probably the fourth time or so that I've done this video, because it's tough to talk about something like this without coming across one way or another, right? When you're a person like me who is genuinely in the middle of most things and can understand. I mean, I don't like radical thoughts, and I don't like extremely one-sided things. So Panarin got in shit for a most likely fake article released by, I don't give a shit who's a coach or somebody or something that is on the opposite political side as him. And so for reasons which I'm sure we'll find out later, or maybe not at all, depending on him, he left to go, for some reason, back to Russia to deal with something. I don't know if it's to just come out against it in Russia. I don't know. I mean, who knows? We'll find out when it happens, right? But, you know, I'm just watching some videos and things like that, and there's just comments that, you know, I've been reading. The reason why this has kind of caught my attention is I've been listening to / reading The Gulag Archipelago. And it is basically a Russian history book about the way that Russian people are, the way they're manipulated, the way leaders were, and, you know what I mean, long story short, it's about how the Russians started concentration camps and ended concentration camps, and the story in between them. They're called gulags. Right? That's just a fancy Russian word for concentration camp. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I mean? And Warzone, we're like, yo, we're going to the gulag. It's like, man, what if you named it Auschwitz? How would you feel about that? I'm just saying. It's the same thing. Just one was targeted to Jews and one was targeted towards anti-political people. Right? Not just Jews, but, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So, I'm reading this book, and there's a quote that I think I would like to share to just kind of understand that this isn't just Putin is bad, 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 and everybody should be against Putin. I get it. He's a dictator that's been around for a long time and blah, 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 but we have to remember he, like, gets voted in, right? Like, he's coming and he's gone, and, like, he doesn't just sit there and rule with an iron fucking fist and doesn't just lock his people down, and, you know what I mean, he doesn't send cops to doors to lock in the people that would vote against him. You know what I mean? Stuff happens. If you want to debate, blah, 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 but there aren't riots across Russia saying screw Putin. He's pretty loved, right? And the West just doesn't agree with that because we're so anti-Russia. And America is so anti-Russia, just like anti-China. They have their good, they have their bad, so on and so forth, right? I just want, like, let's go to these comments. I'm jumping back and forth, but, like, in Russia, people who speak negatively about Putin, bad things happen. Simply not true. Pussy Riot exists. They just go to jail, and they come back out. You know what I mean? If you're a genuine threat, maybe, then maybe. You know what I mean? We can sit there and talk about all the poisonings and blah, 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 sure. But, you know what I mean, just this little comment that gets a lot of likes. People who speak, you know what I mean, bad things happen. It doesn't, man. Like, there's this weird narrative about Russia that I guess the heavy lefters like to push, and just, you know what I mean, I don't know. They don't deserve the credit that we give them. I'll put it that way. They don't deserve the credit that we give them. So I want to read you this just to kind of prove my point. This man was in concentration camps for 40 gosh darn years, and I mean, this was one of the quotes that he realized throughout his time in the concentration camps. If only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart? During the life of any heart, this line keeps changing place. Sometimes it is squeezed one way by exuberant evil, and sometimes it shifts to allow enough space for good to flourish. One and the same human being is, at varied ages, under various circumstances, a totally different human being. At times, he is close to being the devil, at times, to sainthood. but his name doesn't change. And to that name, we ascribe a whole lot, good and evil. Socrates taught us, know thyself. Confronted by the pit in which we are about to toss those who have done us harm, we halt, stricken dumb. It is after only because of the way things worked out that we were the executioners, that they were the executioners, and we weren't. Sorry, I'll say that again. It is after all only because of the way things worked out that they were the executioners, and we weren't. From good to evil is one quaver, says the proverb, and correspondingly, from evil to good. I wanted to kind of make a hockey channel and talking about the nuances in hockey that aren't just on the ice and the little things. And so this quote written by a man that dealt with Russia, right? He understands Russia probably more than anybody ever has, and had made it his goal to tell the people the history of Russia, right? Who are we to say what is right and wrong? Who are we to say that the opposition that Panarin supports wouldn't be just as bad, if not worse, right? I am not in support of Putin. I'm not, right? But, you know what I mean? The lack of understanding towards the bigger picture is... there's no way to put it. It is what it is, because who are we to sit there and talk positively about our enemy? It's really weird. You know what I mean? And I kind of... shouldn't we be learning about one of the most powerful countries throughout all of history? And why Panarin went back in the first place? What would make him fear? If this happened with a Finnish player, we wouldn't be doing this. If this happened with an American, who cares? Whatever. You mean, why Russia? Why does he go back? What made him scared? What made him worried? What in the past history has caused this reaction? Right? And we don't know. I don't know. I'm just creating a video to talk about the subject in a little bit of a different view that's not just Russia bad, Russia do bad thing. You know, why do Russians love Russia so much, but still fear it in a sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't claim to know anything. I don't have any degree in anything that can help with this. I'm just a guy that's just understands a little bit based on this awesome book that I think everybody should read, The Gulag Archipelago, to just kind of understand why it's a little bit more nuanced than just Putin bad. Like, that's the easy way out. It's the childish thing to kind of say, you know what I mean? I don't know his supporters, I don't know the dude he's supporting, I don't know any of that. But the contrarian in me can't help but just get slightly annoyed that it's just bad Putin, bad Putin, bad Putin, bad Putin. Why do Russians not think he's bad, but we do? You know what I mean? We haven't had anything really happen besides maybe fuck with an election in the States. Like, I don't know, it's just... I don't know, it's so hard for me to just jump on this easy bandwagon that, oh, Putin wants to end Breadman's career because he said something negative about him. I don't think Putin gives a flying fuck. Like, I think you have a salty coach that brought up something out of nowhere in order to maybe get a little bit more clicks and maybe get a little bit more buzz on that. Maybe he wants to be a politician for Putin's side, and he's just saying little things in order, you know what I mean? Ovi and Panarin and all these huge Russian athletes, you know what I mean? They're huge. You know what I mean? It'd be like if Alphonso Davies came out against Trump, or Trudeau, and started supporting some weird radical that we had. Everybody'd be like, what the fuck, but would he come back here? That's the thing that's interesting. You know what I mean? If Russia's so scary, why is he returning? That's just the part that I find, honestly, the most fascinating, is why return? If it's so scary, and if speaking out against Putin is so bad, why return? Nothing will happen. That's the biggest takeaway from all. Nothing's going to happen. Putin is smarter than you, and he's smarter than me. He is probably one of the smartest people on the face of the earth. How are you in control of a country of this many people and they love you so much and so on and so forth, right? Like, he's not going to just take out Panarin and his family and create a whole shitload of storm because he doesn't like his political views. You think Putin doesn't understand that there's a fuckload of people that don't like him? Trump would walk around daily understanding half the world wants him to fucking kick the bucket, and he didn't care. He didn't go around arresting people that were against him when he had every right to and could have. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm comparing the two because they're damn well the fucking same. The states and the... Like, if you don't understand that, man, you gotta open up your eyes a bit. If you don't understand the states and Russia are basically the same thing. You know? I'm just rambling on now, but I think... this is one of those weird situations where it's so easy to be like anti-Putin, screw Putin. I don't think Putin even knew or gives a flying fuck. I really don't. What is he going to gain? What, like, you know, it's fun, it's juicy, it's great, you know what I mean? Especially for the media, it's a beautiful thing to grab onto, and anti-Putin things get clicks. Easy to hate, right? Very easy to hate. Trump, Putin, you know, you throw them up there, easy to hate. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to wait this one out a little bit more because I think it's very interesting. And I'm really curious to see what will happen because I don't think anything will. I think he'll return. He might even return with his family out of fear for them. I really don't know. And that's what the cool thing is. Everybody talking like they do when they don't know. One guy said something in the fucking paper and he left. Yeah, it's just weird more than it is anything else. Oh yeah, so that's just me rambling for 12 minutes about something I barely know anything about. Cool. Peace.